For 43 years, Gainesville, Florida has welcomed fans of NHRA's Lucas Oil Series for a spring break treat like no other. Abundant sunshine, big car counts have given us many memorable moments at the Gator Nationals. It is time to go green. All eyes are on Gainesville. Here's Todd Venny, the East Region champ from a year ago, taking on Ray Drew.
How close do these races get in Alcohol Funny Car? That close. You think you could pick that one out without electronics? Add up the math. How about a couple of thousandths of a second at the finish line stripe?
And what do we know? We know that John Lombardo will have lane choice over Dan Pomponio, as will Frank Manzo, to be on a collision course in the semifinals.
Let's take a look at the other side, though. The interesting matchup up on top. John Headley, 15 qualifier, got around Chris Foster in the opening round. And, of course, Paul Noakes got out Mickey Farrow. One of those two is going to the semis.
Back to the starting line now for our second pair here in round number 2. It's Todd Venny and it's Andy Bull, a couple of guys that like to hang out. They're good friends.
Well, the Division III runners, of course, they run together on the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series. The regional trail, the divisional trail, that follow a dream car. We've told the story before. The car owner, Jay Blake, was blinded in an industrial accident. Got the white cane right off to the side, but he always dreamed of racing funny cars. He's a very motivated guy, does motivational speaking, and, well, he's still following his dream.
You know what? He may not be able to see, but he hears everything that goes on and knows what's happening.
Very involved with the team. Andy Bull, he and his buddies got together and decided to pool their resources. They're really just a bunch of guys with regular jobs that wanted to go racing. They don't have a huge budget. They don't have a lot of spare parts, but they do have a national event trophy already between the team. They race very smart. That's a tough out because he's not going to give you anything.
And if you notice the name Venny, Todd's dad, Ken Venny, tuned for Mike Dunn, tuned for a lot of other people, also drove. In fact, he got his last win here at the Gator Nationals back in 1985 when he beat Vern Motes.
Todd Venny is such a historian. There's Jay Blake, the car owner. He's intently listening, paying attention to what's going on with his car, even though he can't see it.
Friends, but Andy Bull is 1-0 against Todd. I guarantee you Todd knows that.
Wow, Andy's car front end up. Oh, wow.
Todd got away first, got to the stripe first, goes 560 with a 3, the best run of his weekend, but man, there was some craziness going on over there in the right lane.
Watch Andy Bull's car. There it rattles, front end up, comes over. He's going to pedal it. Wow. Blew the blower off of it. Now there's a safety system on all these cars. It's called the Leahy device. If they backfire, shuts off the fuel, shuts off the ignition, throws the parachutes out. Todd Venny, best run of the weekend for that team. That team has really struggled. We haven't seen the numbers we expected, but you give them too many chances, they'll get it.
Well, still 2 more pair of top alcohol funny cars then. And the guy at the far end of the racetrack, he's John Kernan.
With Todd Venny, and I'll get it right this time. Not a 4, but a 560 with the 3. How was that?
Felt good. It's the best run we've made all weekend, and it's a nerve-wracking run. Andy's one of my best friends in the world. I have as much respect for him as anyone in the sport because he tunes it, he drives it, he's done it all himself, he's figured all this, and he just worked on my wife's van a couple weeks ago and did about $1,200 worth of work for $178. I was sleeping on his couch, and it was, I don't like to run him. I don't like to run Ray Drew either. They're friends, but you know, I hate to see him lose, but I damn sure don't want to lose to him. For us, this weekend, it's our first national event without Tom Dobruck, the person who got us a Permatex deal, a guy who means a lot to our team, and that was for him, and this whole year is for him.
We'll see you in the semis.
Right now, it's about wrapping up the semifinals here in Top Alcohol Funny Car. See if Todd Venny or Paul Noakes are going to get an opportunity to race for the win today.
We know that Dan Pomponio means business. You mentioned that career best number on the other side. You're going to need better than a 555 if you want to pick your lane in that final round out of this pair. But, Dave, I've been watching these cars all day long. I haven't seen anything that would lead me to believe lane choice is a huge deal. I mean, is it nice? Yeah. Is it critical? Not at Gainesville.
Well, especially when you got a cloud cover that's falling over this racetrack right now. It helps keep the sun off of it, and it really is kind of a great equalizer. Gives everybody a fair chance. One lane's a little greasier than the other. Sun's not beating down on it.
It sure is nice to have if you can get it, but I don't think it's a big deal. The older style Mustang body right there. Paul Noakes, we talked about it earlier. He's going to go back and start teaching shop class in high school again next week. And, of course, Todd Venny. He's been coming to this sport basically since he was in diapers with his dad. night start. Oh, Paul Noakes gives it away. Oh, and Todd Finney blows it up. That thing went off huge. 575 is going to be the official math. 212 miles an hour. Noakes coasts across in the 11-second zone after going red by 12 thousandths of a second. But watch that Permatex car. Pow!
That's fire. Guaranteed Todd Finney saw that because it was right in his face.
All of a sudden, the question may become, can they fix that car? Absolutely.
Here are pieces and parts falling off of that car all over. Here's John.
Yeah, with Todd Finney. And Todd, tell us what that was like, and do you guys have enough time to get ready for the finals?
You know, I don't know. Probably. You know, I've never had a good race. Something weird seems to happen every time. Did again that time. Felt like it was running all right. Kind of skating around. I got toward the center lines. Car likes to go to the right a lot. And coming back in the middle and right around start of high gear, boom. So that's happened a few times to us in that lane at this track. I don't know why, but hopefully we can get it back together and win the final round.
It'll be great to see Todd get a national event win.
Remember, his opponent doesn't have one either.
Well, just a little bit ago, we saw Todd Finney beat Paul Noakes and had a lot of damage.
Check it out.
Alan, what are we looking at?
Right here. It pushed a head gasket out, and then the inferno inside the cylinder literally melted the aluminum at the head and the block. When that happens, you got to change motors. A little help from their friends.
Here's the new power plant going back in. Bet he makes it.
Remember the Andy Bowl connection? Andy's guys are over there helping him get ready.
And when we come back, we're going to have the alcohol finals, but we're going to go dragster first. That's because Todd Finney is just getting suited up. In fact, all they got to do is put the top on that race car, drag it to the starting line. We'll have the alcohol funny car finals too. Come on back to the Emily Oil Gator Nationals. Todd Finney is on his way in the Follow a Dream Permatex car.
As you saw in the pits, he's already strapped in. He's already suited up. All they've got to do is pull up, plug in the starter, and go. While we wait for that, we've got the Super Comp final. Greg Camplain, and that's Mia Tedesco. She just got beat.
And happy St. Patrick's Day. Todd Finney is here. The cars have been fired, and we will indeed have a top alcohol funny car final. As Dan Pomponio will hit the water box first. Mark Lyle, the NHRA official starter, keeps an eye and makes sure everybody's fitting into that time window.
A tip of the cap to the NHRA, though. They gave him every possible minute, shuffled the run order so Vinny could have a couple extra minutes, kept the lane open coming through the staging lanes to get up there. They wanted to give him every opportunity. A, obviously it's important to Todd. He's never won a national event. And B, want to put on a show for the fans. You hate to hang out all day and not see a race in the final.
Definitely guaranteed to have a first-time winner here. Neither driver has won a national event, Stat Guy.
Well, this is one of my favorite stats of all time. Todd is looking to become the second stat guy to win a national event because Bob Unkefer won stock at Houston back in 2008. He used to do this job, and so has Todd Finney in the past.
And Todd Finney got an assist from top field driver Sean Langdon, making his way from his pit after they did all of the repairs. Sean was on his scooter leading the way, honking the horn on the scooter, telling everybody to get out of the way, that Todd needed to go and he needed to get up there to race. And so Sean Langdon helping out Todd Finney.
Now, I'm not sure if I misinterpreted that, but if Todd Finney won, then this is the only stat guy that has never won a national event?
Oh, a lot of pressure there, Lewis.
May have to put him in a car one of these days. Well, they've been following the dream this long. Can the dream hold out? If the alarm clock doesn't go off for another 6 or 7 seconds, Todd Finney may finally realize his biggest dream, and that's winning his own national event to join his father. It may happen sometime, but it won't be today. Dan Pomponio,
back in black.
5.60, 259. And hey, congratulations to those guys. And again, from the good sportsmen, they weren't pressing the issue. They're giving Todd all the time he could get. We'll watch it from the far end of the racetrack. Vinny gets out of the groove, front end up, and at that point, I can only imagine the disappointment.
Realizes that there's no point in keeping going that direction. You'll mow the blocks and give it up right there. Dan Pomponio gets his first national event win.